Elisha,
Yes.
tell me more about yourself, something that I cannot read in a CV. What makes you happy? What are your goals in life? What makes you feel at ease? What makes you feel uncomfortable? Your passions. Tell me, who is Elisha?
Whereas I would like to say Elisha is a person who is sympathized with the environment based on the structure of the job that I'm into, perspectively. But also out of the on the interest of working perspective into socializing outside. I'm just a simple guy, and then I love realizing with the people around and even mingle with some guys, but not everybody, based on the strength that I have. But I love more teaching, and I love more giving my knowledge for the something that I know specifically when someone needs me out of the understanding of the issue. So basically, I do myself in teaching and giving out the inputs to the person who is eager to take it. So basically, I love that the framework of myself to align that. But also, Elisha loved to read. I read books. I love reading, and through the books that I take of myself, give me some insight and inputs to understand. And sometimes I love streaming on the internet, but basically on the reading perspective, on materials like reading on technology, because I'm a pioneer on technology perspective. So that's me. But my out of that, if I take it, that was my low self-esteem. It's when things are not working or are not happening, really trouble me inside, and then make me more peeling out of my mind to see how I can realign with see someone who can assist me out of it. So that's how simple I can tell about myself.
Fantastic. And when it comes to business development,
Yes.
to developing business, selling, what
Yes.
is the one thing that you know is very important for you to be successful?
Well, for me, what I think is the relationship. I think for me to be successful with any kind of typical business or sell but the relationship matters. Very friendly to a person, whether it's X or Z, we have to have mutual relation, whether it's this and that. So I have to have a relation at first. Then with the relationship, we can go back, whether he's a customer, I am the client, so or he's a supplier and the manufacturer. So the relationship has to be there, among.
Fantastic. And why would you like to join our company?
Well, as for the company, I really I really loved the way how you realign with the stakeholders outside. Like if you see how the European Business Group takes the initiatives to support the government of Tanzania and other stakeholders on different projects. Like now we are in the issue of loyal tour issues. So you see how the government and this the director, Madam Sikai Richard, trying to incorporate together to see how these people are coming into reality. That means, the Tanzania are not so much aware about the opportunity. So with you guys, this make people who are in the sitting capacity level to come into one.
Fantastic.
Yeah.
So let me give you the feedback for the interview.
Sure.
Okay. I like the fact that you spoke about the relationships in business, which is very important.
Okay.
I like the fact that you gave me a very specific reason for joining our business. I might like it, I might not like it, but it's your reason and it's very specific and it sounds authentic. Okay. What I don't like is that you don't have eye contact and your body is pointing towards the window. Okay. So when you speak to me next time, you want to move your body towards me and you want to have eye contact. I like the fact that you move your hands when you speak because you mime power words, but you speak too fast and you give your answers are too long. So when you speak like blah, 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 no pauses, blah, 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 blah. So what I want you to do next time, I want you to use pauses. You'll say, and don't say Elisha is, I am. Don't speak in third person. I am asking you is Elisha, but you don't have to speak like a king. You understand? Like Elisha is a prophet. Okay, so you will say, I was born in Arusha. Okay, my parents were. Pause. Okay, I decided to join a career in sales because. Pause. So every time you speak, small sentences of 3, 4, 5 seconds with pauses, because the pause makes the statement before and after stronger.
Correct.
And what else? You have to speak in stories. When I tell you who is Elisha, tell me a story. When I ask you what makes you successful in sales, tell me a story. Relationship. Let me give you an example. Okay, I have built a relationship with one of my most important customers for the last 10 years. We've been speaking without doing business for 10 years, but I always knew he was a diamond. He's the CEO of a very large company, and the reason why I'm actually his friend is not even because of the business. I just like to communicate with him, to deal with him. I learned so much from him. And recently, he just gave me a business for the first time, and he became actually one of our most important, prominent clients in our HQ. And it all started with a cup of coffee 10 years ago. A story. Do you understand that? So it is relationship, prove it with a story. And maybe you are a little bit shy, but that goes away with time. And that is because you are improvising the answers. What I'm trying to say is, like, some of these answers that, and also some of these answers you are giving me, they are improvised. Like the last one, of course, you don't know why you're joining my company because it is not real, isn't it? So you have to invent an excuse or invent an answer. And there is something else I wanted to tell you, Elisha, before I forget. You make the mistake of wanting to impress me. Okay? When you try to sell, don't try to impress me. Just present yourself with a story and let the story sell you. Do you understand that? Let me give you an example. Okay, I like to read, I like to do that. You don't have to say that. Okay, you say, I spend most of my weekends, okay, with a club of friends. Okay, we have a reading group, and we like to basically exchange opinions about a book we have been reading, okay, for the last 1 month. Do you understand that? Instead of saying, I like reading, that is better. Because when you make statements that make you look good and you don't back it up with a story, it looks like bragging. You understand that? Because it cannot be proven.
Yes.
I thank you so much. It was a fantastic interview. I would have hired you. You have to be more practical in the way you speak. You have to speak like somebody who understands the street.
Okay.
You have to be street smart.
Correct.
If you go for a sales specialist job, you'll deal with people out there who are uneducated, who come from financially challenged families,
Sure.
and you cannot come across as a professor. You have to come across as a man of the people.
Sure.
We have this bad habit of wanting to seduce people, okay, by showing them how powerful we are. It's like when you sit down with somebody, with a woman you want to marry, okay, and you start telling her, I'm handsome, I'm rich, I have a nice job, okay, I'm a director, I've got an MBA. After 5 minutes, she goes to sleep. You understand that? Because she's not interested in your list of achievements.
Correct.
Okay. So you want to share stories, the kind of stories that make me understand that you are in the business of helping me. You're not in the business of wanting to outsmart perform me. You understand that?
I understand, sir.
Okay. So because I'm not going to hire an energy vampire. Because if you have a wounded ego, and I put you in a sales team, especially in sales, when you win, you take everybody down. And when you're down, you go down anyway. You understand? There is nothing worse for a sales manager than to deal with a salesperson who has a huge ego.
Correct.
Because when he actually starts winning, okay, that guy is going to tell everybody, I'm winning, I'm winning, I'm winning, and it's going to make everybody feel like nothing.
Yeah.
Okay, so if you are the kind of person who needs to be validated to be happy, you have a problem. And also, you said something that I did not like, from my personal, humble perspective, you feel depressed when things don't work out. It's not something really nice to say. You understand that? Because in sales, things don't work out very often, and you can't be depressed. I thank you so much. It was a fantastic interview. I would have hired you. Sales job is on commissions. But somebody tells you, what makes you uncomfortable? You know, a good answer could be poverty. Poverty makes me uncomfortable. That's why I work very hard, because I need the money and I need a lot of it. Do you understand that? If I am the kind of salesperson who is performance driven, okay, and you are on commissions with a small retainer, that's a fantastic answer. because it makes me understand that you need the money, that you don't want to go back to where you come from, and you're willing to push forward no matter what. Okay.
I have a good story to say.
Okay. Let's say
So-
you give me a good story. What makes you believe that you're a good salesman? Whether that you are a good sales specialist for our business?
This organization, I won't talk about anything. This organization itself track itself to support other guys inside itself. So as the person myself, the time maybe I took it like 4 years from now, back yonder, I was employed to CNG Company Limited. Then I was taken to the up country, that means in Western Zone. With the zone itself, this comprises of 6 regional perspective. They had non-sell. They were selling because this guy, they are selling gun set generators, Cummins power generators, and so with these guys, they had only one supply. I mean, one dealer on the entire chain. So my aim out of it was to see the company get the earning, and I'm also getting the support from the guys who I'm just trying to align with them towards the company.
Okay, so you see, okay, every time you say I need support, remember companies don't give you support. They like to think that they are supporting you, but the truth is they aren't supporting you. They want you to be self-reliant. Okay,
Sure.
so when you speak about the fact that you like us because we support people, and I am an HR manager or a sales director, and I know that in a company of 3,000 people, there are so many issues you'll find out when you join our company you don't even know. Okay, and so the truth is the reality is much uglier. Okay, and so let's say a story could be, okay, this is an SME job. My job is to build relationships with SMEs. For what I understand about your business, having been your customer for the last 17 years, is that you spend a lot of time in building meaningful relationships with SMEs, with individuals. That's why people love your brand. And this is exactly what I've done ever since 2006. I only had 2 jobs, and in each one of them, my specific function was to build relationships with SMEs. Okay, and in the last 14 years, I have built relationships with 353 SMEs. These are the SMEs that I actually have in my Excel sheet, secret Excel sheet on my laptop, because I keep looking at their names, I keep calling them, and I believe that these relationships can be used when I work with you, and also I will also look after your clients and increase my portfolio. Building relationships with SME is my specialization, and that's what I've done for the last 16 years. Do you understand?
Sure.
So this is improvised, okay?
All right.
But of course, if this was a real job, you prepare your script in advance. You have 10, 15 questions that you know they are going to arrive, okay? And so what you do, you have those 3, 4 stories, okay? Once you have that story, you put it in. It doesn't really matter. It's very important what they ask you, but you need to go to the interview with 3, 4 stories, and you have to find a way to mention those stories, irregardless of the questions. Do you understand that? Like, for instance, I will tell you what makes you feel uncomfortable. I can tell you what makes me feel very comfortable, and you put the story. Do you understand that? Or so you don't have to necessarily. This is not a police investigation where you have to say, where were you at last night, 7:30? The goal of the interview is to assess your ability to build relationships, number 1, your technical competence, and your ability to work in a team. Do you understand? So all these questions, if you look at them, okay, they don't really have any other goal apart from that. So, but you are trying to answer the question, but there's another question you have to answer. Is the question behind the question. You understand that? Because the interviewer is not going to tell you, I want to employ someone who builds very good relationships. Are you good at building relationships? It's too easy, isn't it? So he will ask you a question to find out, okay, if that's what you're good at. He will not give you a penalty. He will not give you an answer. He will not give you a question and give you the possibility to answer in a way that makes you advertise yourself easily. Do you understand that?
Sure.
He's not gonna say, are you a good father? Okay, because we like to deal with people who are loyal to their families, and we like to deal with people with moral values. I make an example. He's gonna say to you, tell me about yourself. He wants to know the story of the love of your life, or how you met your wife, how you're still married with her after 16 years and you're still loyal. Do you understand that? But he's not gonna ask you, are you a loyal person? Are you the kind of person that people can rely on? Would your wife say you're a good husband? It's too easy. Do you understand that? So it will ask you questions and then see where you are going with the answer, because the answer will always take you to your values.
Correct.
So he will ask you a question to see where you are going with the answer, because where you are going with the answer is who you are.
Okay.
Okay.
I got you, sir.
I thank you so much. It was a fantastic interview.